Hello, I'm Mrs. Preetha Ajith, the career planner for iDream Career. Today we'll be discussing about vocational education. As the labor market becomes more specialized and economies demand higher levels of skill, governments and businesses are increasingly investing in the future of vocational education. Vocational education, or otherwise called career and technical education, prepares learners for jobs that are based in manual or practical activities, traditionally non-academic and totally related to a specific trade, occupation or vocation. It is sometimes referred to as technical education also, as the learner directly develops expertise in a particular group of techniques or technology. Vocational education can be at the secondary or post-secondary level and interact with the apprenticeship system or internship program. Vocational training in India is provided on a full-time as well as part-time basis. Full-time programs are generally offered through ITIs, that is Industrial Training Institutes. The nodal agency for granting the recognition to these ITIs is the NCVT, which is the National Council for Vocational Training, which is under the Ministry of Labour. Here, I would like to tell you that the vocational higher secondary schools is under the MHRD, that is Ministry of Human Resource Department in India. All the state governments run vocational schools. India is a pioneer in vocational training. Let's take example of a southmost state, that is Kerala. 389 vocational schools are there with 42 different courses. The prominent courses are commerce and business, tourism, agriculture, automobile, air conditioning, livestock management, film and television, information technology, audio production and recording, lab technician, and it goes on. The students get reservation and preferences in a PSC appointment. To give special focus on the skill training development of women, under the Ministry of Labour and Employment, they have launched facilities exclusively for women that aim at promoting participation of women in skill training. Various courses have been designed and introduced under different schemes for target group of young women with basic education of class 10 or 11. The program attempts to promote the women employment in industry as semi-skilled, skilled and highly skilled workers by increasing their participation in skill training facilities under two schemes, that is the Craftsman Training Scheme and Craft Instructor Training Scheme. Program also offers higher skill training for the instructors for various skill training organizations. Now let's talk about Craftsman Training Scheme, that is the CTS. The minimum age required is 14 years, whereas there is no upper age bar. And the minimum qualification required is 10th or 12th standard, depending upon the training area opted. Now, if you come to the second scheme, that is the Craft Instructor Training Scheme, that is called CITS, women who already have the NCVT in the relevant trade is considered for the instructor schemes. There is again no upper age bar for this. And your base qualification is your NCVT certification. The short-term need-based courses are conducted as per demands. The admission to these courses are held generally during July. Classes generally commence in August. Courses under CITS, that is the Instructor Training Scheme, advertisement generally comes in June, and you can follow it up in the employment news. Training is conducted on modular pattern with admission every 3 or 4 months depending on the type of module or course available in each institute. The vocational training programs under CTS, the first scheme that we discussed, are implemented by the Union Territory, state government and the central government. Now let's talk about the state sector for vocational training program for women. Under the state sector, the vocational training is organized through a network of women ITI or private women ITIs or women wing and general ITIs, which are directly under the administrative control of the respective state governments. Training facilities are being offered in engineering and non-engineering skill courses under the Craftsman Training Scheme, that is the CTS scheme. Training seats sanctioned per unit is limited to only 16 seats in most trades, and the training program are scheduled as August to June. Admission process starting in June, so it is August to July. The DG of Employment and Training under the Ministry of Labour and Employment lays down policies and standards of training, prepares curriculum, conducts trade tests and awards certificates. Now coming to the central sector of vocational training program for women. There is an institution network. The Women's Vocational Training Program at DG of Employment and Training is implemented through a network of 11 institutes, 1 National Vocational Training Institute for Women and 10 Regional Vocational Training Institute for Women again. Sorry. Now coming to a School of Vocational Education. That is, we are talking about Tata Institute of Social Sciences, which is a pioneer in social science education. The TISS SVE, that is the School of Vocational Education, has now enrolled out the 3 years Bachelors of Vocational Education, that is called BVOC program, which is newly introduced by UGC. BVOC is now introduced pan-India, across India in different colleges. This is a work integrated training program which enables students to learn the skills by engaging in on-the-job training along with classroom theoretical training. The TISS SVE, School of Vocational Education, offers courses beginning with diploma. This is what we have to notice. It's a diploma, but even if it is BVOC, Bachelor's in Vocation, it starts with a diploma and leading to BVOC degree, Bachelor of Vocational degree. Currently offered in 20 vocational across different sectors and industries like healthcare, hospitality, travel and tourism, HR and sales, dialysis technology, which is very much in demand now, and many others. Now coming to the training areas, we have been talking about vocational education, but what are the areas under which vocational education or skilled manpower is required? Electronic and mechanics, we already spoke about dialysis technology, lab technician and different courses. Now there are also electronic mechanics, instrument mechanics, computer operator and programming assistant, DTP, that is desktop publishing, dressmaking, embroidery and needlework. These are the courses run under Women ITI. Secretarial practice in English, hair and skin care, fruit and vegetable preservation, catering and hospitality, interior decoration and designing, stenography in Hindi particularly, etc. Now, having an overview about vocational education, we need to decide whether the need of the time is skill-based manpower. We all opt to be professionally qualified. Education, being it professional or vocational, is no less. Let us specialize in a skills sector, impart our knowledge to the progress of the nation, and then graduate ourselves to higher levels. Thank you.